Hey everyone, hope you all are having a great day. Thank you so much for tuning into another video here at Highfield Trucking. Today we're doing a interview with Tonya and Dana Hooker. And guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having
Yes,
us.
thank you.
So first off, how did you guys hear about Highfield Trucking?
Um, well, Dana had been trying to get me to join her in the trucking world, um, and I was hesitantly ready to agree with that. So she reached out to one of the Facebook groups, the LGBTQ Truck Driving Network or whatever
Awesome.
that group is, and just kind of asked what's a good company for her spouse to join her in a truck. And one of the moderators actually contacted her and was discussing different options, and then he brought up Highfield and discussed Patrick and Eric. And so then we were doing a little bit of just research, I guess, and saw the trucks, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'd definitely rather do that than getting a tractor trailer with you. And watched a few YouTube videos, some of the Highfield Expediter buggy, um, the Expediting chicks, just a few different, there's so many different YouTube channels that you guys
Yes.
put out, and lots of information to be gained there. And here we are.
Yep, here we are.
We liked everything we saw, so here we are.
That's amazing. I agree with you. I started trucking in an 18 wheeler. I did go out and get my class A, and then I quickly realized that is something that I did not want to do. Uh, I didn't feel comfortable just being, such a large vehicle and the 53-foot trailer and all that. So I did go directly into expediting. I never drove 18 wheeler over the road, but it's definitely a huge difference going from tractor trailer and being in one of our straight trucks and pretty much being able to go wherever an RV can go. You have a lot more freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I came off the road, off tractor trailer, about 2.5 years. I did that.
Okay.
And so, yeah, when I got in one of these trucks, even just maneuvering it and learning the vehicle, and then how easy it was for me to operate going from something so much bigger to this. But even then, I remember looking in the mirror. Okay, do I turn left to go left or right to go left or vice versa? Because I was so used to backing a trailer. But it's really easy to navigate these trucks.
You're absolutely correct. Awesome. So, during the recruiting process with Highfield and the onboarding process, what advice would you give to new contractors that are getting ready to come into this field?
My biggest advice is in the onboarding process, you're going to receive a lot of emails, a lot of information. Uh, Make sure you pay attention to all of those emails, because you're going to have information in there. It might take you 3, 4, 6 weeks to actually get in the truck. Information in those emails you receive day one, you're going to need that when you move into the truck. I know we also received an email packet from our mentors before we got in the truck, and we actually printed that out and have it in a folder. There's still
Oh,
stuff we
nice.
refer back to from time to time. So
Yeah,
just pay attention to those emails. It's a lot of information, and you're not going to absorb it. So
yeah,
so
save
hang
them.
on to it.
How was truck orientation and move-in day, and what would have made you more prepared on that day?
Well, for me, I was really super excited coming out here. We did a lot of research with Highfield and with this type of work. So, and just having my wife join me out here on the road, I was very excited. The day came and I started getting a little nervous when we finally got here, but it was very smooth, comfortable process. We were given a tour of the truck and some of the equipment I wasn't familiar with, even though I'd been in over TR for so long. I needed the lift gate shown to me. I didn't have an APU. And once we were kind of out on our own, I definitely felt a little overwhelmed, but we had the support of everyone, and we were given the time to just settle into the truck. And then we started working, more with our mentors when we were ready to get out there, and they would just kind of held our hands through the process.
Yeah. It was really smooth. Mel went over every aspect of the truck with us and made sure we were comfortable before she set us loose. So
We do our best to try to make sure everyone is prepared. And like you mentioned earlier, it is a lot of information getting started and getting rolling in this field. So, and even after you do get in the truck, I think you can attest to the fact that we do have a support system in place, whether that be your mentors, staff, any almost all of the staff has been in a truck at one point in time, so we all know exactly what you're going through.
And one thing I'd like to add is when you're working over the road, you don't have time to unpack. You don't have time to settle. You get in, you turn the key, you lock in, and you go. Here, it was much smoother. It almost made me feel a little uneasy because I'm so used to just push, push, push. You don't even get a chance to unpack till you go to bed. So I really liked it that we had that opportunity to just settle in, get comfortable with the truck, and then, get out there when we're ready.
yeah, it was very nice.
That's awesome. I mean, you're the first ones to actually say that, and especially coming from your experience in tractor trailers. So, thank you for saying that. That's a good point to make. What challenges have you had while being in expediting, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Well, for us, again, I spent a lot of time away from home. I was over the road. And so for us to transition from that type of lifestyle to being with each other 24/7 was an adjustment for us, to say the least. Yeah. And I think people can relate with that. But we've overcome it, building a working relationship together, becoming that person that the other person can really rely on when you're out here and successful at this. You need that.
Yeah. And then as far as like actual work related things we've overcome, learning to navigate the load board was just so overwhelming, I guess, to start with, and just figuring out where the good freight lanes were and where you want to be, where you don't want to get stuck, just navigating that whole process. And our mentors really helped guide us in the right direction, and we're figuring it out. 8 months in, I think we got a pretty good handle on it.
That's good to hear. Just to piggyback off of what you said at the beginning, I completely 100% agree with you, because when you're with someone 24/7, it can pose challenges that you've never experienced before. So I know in my personal experience, I mean, when you're at home, you can take off to another room, you can slam a few doors, you can do what you got to do. But in the truck, I used to always joke, like, I would go to the sleeper, and it just doesn't have the same effect when you just pull a curtain. It just doesn't do it.
No. But we have found ways to give each other the space that we need when we need it. So even if it's just little things, and
even if it's just, I'm gonna go do the laundry and leave you alone for a little while, just
everyone has to have that little bit of separation. You have to have a moment to yourself to just collect your thoughts and figure out what's going on internally. So, and it shows great strength whenever you're able to overcome those and work together. And communication is huge whenever you're in these small sleepers. And I say small in the relative term of just being in a small space, not that the sleepers are small compared to like 18 wheelers and stuff like that.
Right.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's a big change. Again, we weren't used to seeing each other even every day because I was over the road so much. So, but we got through it, and it's not as hard as we thought it would be, because we're like, I don't even know if we can work together, but here we are. We're doing it.
Yeah.
On the opposite end of that, what successes have you had in expediting?
Well, I would say for us, what we're most excited about is we came into this because we were in a difficult situation financially. And I felt that if we both got into trucking, that would help us get out of that. And it has. Even at the beginning, we were starting to build a positive pattern towards rebuilding our finances. And So we've been out here 8 months. 6 of the 8 months we've hit the Highfield bonus. This month we're going to hit both the Highfield and the FedEx bonus, and we just continue to see growth the longer we're out here.
Yeah.
And we're very excited to see where what our earning potential can be for the end of the year.
Congratulations on hitting the bonuses. That's exciting.
Yeah. And that's what's still taking a lot of home time. I mean, it's not like we're always in this truck. We've taken the time to go home and spend it with our families. So I mean, you can do it and still be connected with your family.
That's a very good point. Yeah, and it's great to mention, the bonuses that Highfield does offer a bonus whenever you hit a certain threshold, gross revenue to the truck, and FedEx at this current time does offer a bonus as well, as you mentioned. Um, we don't know if that bonus is going to continue forever, but it has been going on a long time. It was even going whenever I was out on the road, so I think it's something that they definitely are going to continue for a while.
Yeah. And for us, it's an achievement,
Yeah.
something to strive for.
Exactly. I agree. Great. So, you've briefly touched on this before, but let's go into it a little bit deeper. You have a mentor. So, how has the mentor program helped you with getting into and the transitioning into expediting?
They're crucial. Unfortunately, they're not on the truck anymore, but yeah, they helped us tremendously getting started. They're there. They tell you call 24/7. They mean that. I mean, there was times we were on the East Coast, they were on the West Coast. We call 7 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, California, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you get a sleepy mentor answering her phone. How can I help you? Talk to you as long as you need to give you the information you need, and they're always there. And you build a friendship. It's not just them telling you what to do. It's them talking with you about your struggles, and just helping you through. And
one thing they did is they always referred to it as our business, and they kind of get a feel of what we wanted to do with our business, and they kind of coached us in that direction. And that was putting a different mindset in our minds, because hey, that's what this is. This is our business, and they taught us how to run it in a way that we wanted to run it,
right, to achieve our personal goals and what we wanted to get out of it, not what somebody else is pushing us for. It's our own personal goals that we're working for.
I was a mentor myself, out there for the last 4.5 years that I was with Highfield on the road. And getting that phone call at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I used to tell everyone the same thing. It doesn't matter. There's so many times you can be struggling over something, and it could rack your brain about trying to do something. And if you would just take the 5 minutes to pick up the phone and call me, I can get you back on the road in literally a few seconds. And just having that support 24/7 is just amazing. Always having someone there in your corner to help you. And to what you said, it is your business, and we want to see you succeed just as much as Highfield succeed. So I really, really like that point of view of how your mentors came from. This is your business and setting you up for that success. That's amazing.
Yeah, they're really good to work with.
Yeah.
Fell in love with them.
You develop those
it's
bonds.
a friendship.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
So, what are some of the other, being in expediting, you go all over the country, you see a lot of different things. What are some of the most favorite places that you've been to?
Well, my favorite so far is California. I just love the landscape there. When you're going through Northern California, you see all the vineyards, and I just love driving and just seeing vineyards and orchards for miles and miles and miles. I also like, just everywhere you go in California, you always have a backdrop of mountains, and to me, it's just breathtaking. And so we've camped out there before at a KOA. You can take these trucks into KOAs, which is really nice. So We've had opportunities while we're in different places to also enjoy it, not just drive through it.
Yeah. And for me, as a night driver, I don't have a specific spot, but I just like coming into a big city at night, seeing the city lights, and just, just it's a beautiful sight.
You're absolutely right. I think the most beautiful thing that I have seen ever, and I would have never seen it if I wasn't on the road, and that was driving at night, coming over the hill whenever you're coming down into Cincinnati.
Okay. Yeah, Cincinnati is a beautiful one at night.
There's another one that you really like.
Salt Lake City is also really, really pretty at night. Yep. So I mean, it's fairly quiet as far as traffic goes. So you're just seeing the lights of the city, and it's a beautiful sight.
And we find beauty in everywhere we go. We're taking pictures. We're just enjoying it. A lot of these states we're visiting for the first time, and we just always finds beauty no matter where we're going.
I think one of my favorite pictures I took, I was actually sitting on a dock door watching the sunrise behind a mountain. So
that's awesome that you can do that, and that you can find the beauty in just everywhere. And just like you said, even sitting at a shipper or a consignee, like just being able to have that experience. That's awesome. With expediting in general or as a whole, what do you like most about expediting?
What do I like most about expediting? You want to start with that?
What we like most about expediting is the freedom that it gives us. Something you don't have in any other job. That's we
get to travel and see the country. We like being independent contractors, and basically this business is not so much a job, but it's your own personal endeavor, and you can build and make it whatever you want it to be. And
your success or failure is 100% determined on the effort you want to put in,
and how good of a listener you are to your mentors, of course.
Right. Yes, there's that.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can help you all they want, but if you're not going to take their advice, then
if you make the mistake, they might be able to help you work through it, but they can't fix it for you. So, if you have questions about stuff, it's always good to go to them. They'll give you good advice. They've been there before. And that's what's got us through and made this such an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
And then what aspects of expediting are you most surprised by? Is there anything that's caught you off guard, or that you didn't think, that you would experience, that you did experience?
Well, for me, being that I came out of a tractor trailer, this is a much slower pace than what I was used to.
Which is kind of weird. Expediting, slower
pace. But and there's two drivers, not just one. And so, we team up, we figure out how we're going to work the drive. So we're both doing our share, and we're both doing what I'm good at or what she's good at, and just kind of making those decisions together. But when you come out of expediting, I figured, okay, we're constantly going to be moving. And quite honestly, we have most weekends off, and we can still make a good paycheck and take a weekend off. And so for me, that was a bit of a change. I had to slow down a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many people, especially transitioning from the 18-wheeler world. You're so used to that 24/7 mentality. Like, you get your 10-hour break and then you go, and just always have those wheels a turning. And then you come over to expediting, and kind of like you said, you would think in expediting that you would constantly be going as well. But a lot of our facilities, especially on the FedEx side, they're Monday through Friday. It's pharmaceuticals. You have those weekends off, and you have that downtime. So a lot of people do have that issue with transitioning and just slowing down a little bit.
What surprised me most is more actually Highfield centered. We have this hashtag Highfield Family, and I know, speaking to other drivers, you see that when you're outside of it, and you think, oh, it's just a ploy or a gimmick to get people in, but then you get actually in the family, and you realize it's it's a culture. I mean, we've had family dinner, cookouts. You stay at the same rest or the same truck stop with people for the weekend, and you're out visiting, setting up your lawn chairs, having a cookout, having breakfast. It's a family. It really is, and that definitely surprised me.
And she's made some good friends out here.
Yep.
She's a little more social than I am, but she's got quite a few drivers that she texts daily, and they just keep up on what's happening. And there's the Facebook group that everybody kind of contributes to, which is nice. But the support is always there. You can get it from your friends, you can get it from other mentors. And so if we ever need help with anything, there's a place to go.
Yeah, there's always someone to reach out to.
I really do appreciate you saying that and bringing up the hashtag Highfield Family. That is something that we are very proud of, and we try to stand fast and stand strong on every day because we want to make sure that everyone feels welcome and we're like family. We really do care about each other.
And there's no judgment, no discrimination with this company. Everybody's accepted for who they are, whatever your background is, your orientation, your religion, everyone is accepted. So it's a very accepting place to be.
So that brings us down to our very last question. And is there anything that you want new drivers coming into the industry to know that you think they should be prepared on, or anything like that?
I just think if they're thinking about making the jump into expediting, to do the research, get the information, ask the questions. I mean, there's people out there that will have answers for them if just to prepare themselves emotionally and mentally for everything to come at them. Also, be prepared if you're going to make this transition. You're going to go about 3 weeks without a paycheck, so make sure you prepare for that. I don't know, anything you'd like to
add? For us, we took the process kind of slow. I think from the time we found out about Highfield, took us about 6 or 7 months before we actually went into a truck.
Yeah, I think we talked to Delana like 3 times before we actually talked to Melissa and started the onboarding process. Yeah. So
I didn't know anything about expediting. I've never even seen one of these trucks before. And so we went to the Expediter Expo in 2023. And when we were there, we spoke with a lot of different people that were with Highfield and some other drivers. And that was what kind of sold us on it. We started making the changes that we need to make, as far as with our jobs and everything else to line us up so we can come out here and be successful.
Yep. And I think we talked to mentors from both sides, Panther and FedEx. And so we kind of had the information on, okay, I think FedEx is more the way we want to go. But yeah, so we did our research and got the information to make an informed decision about where we wanted to go.
Which is very key, because I hate to say it, but we do see a lot of people that just kind of jump into it and they don't really know what to expect. And unfortunately, there's a lot that don't make it just because they were not prepared. So doing that research and that background work to get a lay of the land and kind of know what you're going into, that is key.
Yeah. And that's what we did.
Guys, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really, really do appreciate it. And thank you so much. We are very, very happy to have you with Highfield and part of that hashtag Highfield Family. And I really do appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me and answer these questions today.
Oh, absolutely. Not a problem.
It was our pleasure.